So hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and I hope you guys are doing extremely well. So today I'm going to start another series where I will be posting videos related to LeetCode bi-weekly and a weekly contest. And today I'm starting with the bi-weekly second question because yesterday is the bi-weekly contest and the first question is quite easy. So that is the major reason, and by the way, like the second question is more easy than the first one, but still it's the past of the medium question. That's the reason I will be posting it in my series. So without wasting time, let's get started. So what does exactly the problem statement is? You are given an array of positive integer nums. Fibonacci's array is in a contiguous sequence whose third and subsequent term is equal to the sum of the two previous. Okay, return the length of the longest. ठीक है. Sub array of length 1 and 2 is always okay. So let's consider an example. So this is the example which I have taken from the first test case which is given. So what exactly the Fibonacci sequence is? So it is nothing but the it is nothing but the sum of previous two elements, right? So let's see, this is the sequence because if we add 1 plus 2, it's always be 2, and that's how it will go forward further to create the like sequence for more for the more larger number, right? So this is exactly what they are asking to do in this particular question, right? So how to actually approach this problem? How will be the intuition? So first, the thing which people thought of is DP because of the Fibonacci sequence, but that's not the way to solve this particular problem because we are actually dealing with subarrays. We are not actually dealing with subsequences, because if it's the question of subsequence, then DP is the probably the most optimal solution. But here we are actually working with subarray. So instead of thinking it like in too complex way, let's try to reduce the problem and try to see it in a very little manner. Like, can we do something like, can we use some sort of pointer technique, because we are actually, we just have to take care of two previous pointer, right? So we are not actually maintaining states or anything else, except we are storing these two variables which are actually important for us. So what if I can take one variable here and second here, which is actually the second element of the array, and what I have to do, I just have to check for the j plus 1. If it is the summation of the previous two, that means it is the sequence which I actually looking for. So I will just simply count it in my answer because this is the best way to do it. And let's see if it is not following the condition as you see the right. So we simply increment our ij and then check for the next condition and sing. And in order to take care of the result, we should take one count variable which will actually uh, tell us the current maximum longest Fibonacci subarray and the max variable which actually going to store our result. So it's like this. So if it is following the condition, I simply increment the count variable. So let's say in this case the I and j is not equal to the j plus 1, then again shift it towards right. uh, Now if you see, this is actually following the condition where 1 plus 2 is actually a 3. So this is our answer. So we simply increment the count which is 1, right, and simply move towards right. If we see, it is again following the condition and simply incrementing the count which is 2. Yeah, we again uh, move our pointers. It is again following our conditions, simply increment it and move further. But if you see, this is not actually following the condition. So at every point we are actually also doing something like maximum of max and count, so that we can store the maximum, because if this is the case coming, we simply do count 0, because there may be possibility there are some more elements, let's say 4 5 6 7, and they are actually making the more larger sequence. So in order to track those, we actually use the count variable. But in order to find the maximum result at that current time, we actually use the maximum variable we are actually storing. For our cases, the maximum is 3. And make sure while returning we should simply add 2 to it, because if you see, this is the valid case where we got our first sequence. So we are actually using count plus plus, which actually give us the answer 1, but we need we see we have a output as 3. So at the end of the day, we just simply add 2 to our answer and return it to right? So this is how we actually going to solve this particular problem. If you see the code, I have written it in Java. You can use whatever language you want, the logic is same. I'm just do it little. Okay, I'm just handling the test cases where they have actually mentioned that if the values of length to 1 or 2, it's always be a Fibonacci sequence, right? I'm starting with the first and the second element, like I is here, j is here, and I actually checking for the j plus 1, and I'm initializing my count is equal to 0 and maximum is equal to 0, right? And every time I'm just looping through from I to j and j to n, and as per the constraint, they have actually mentioned the constraint is 10 to the power 9. The elements is going to be the 10 to the power 9. So in cases of int, if we do some addition, so it definitely going to exceed. So it's better because we are actually going to do summation of last two elements. So it's better to do some like to convert it into a long so that it not give you the wrong answer, because in case of int it will give you a negative result as well. And then I'm taking the summation, and for the edge case I'm checking if the j plus 1 is exist, and the summation is equal to the previous two. If it is, then I'm simply incrementing the count, otherwise I'm resetting it so that for the next time if I got something bigger than, then I will consider it in my answer. And at every point I'm doing maximum because it will going to store my result. And I have a max where I, as I told you, we have to add 2 to it because we are not considering if we got the first sequence where we are just adding 1 to it, but we actually got a length of 3. If we do it like this, it will working fine. Let's try to submit it as well. So yeah, if you see, we are successfully able to solve this particular problem as well. So thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please do comment down, and please do subscribe to our channel. I will definitely going to post more videos related to LeetCode bi-weekly and weekly contest. So thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.